In this video, we'll be hunting a box of nickels. We'll be looking for anything older than 1960, including silver war nickels, buffalo nickels, or anything older. We'll also be looking for any foreigns, proofs, errors of varieties, or any other cool things we can find. I do just have this one box right now, but I'll probably end up adding another box onto this video since my nickel boxes have been pretty cold lately. It's been harder to find silver and buffaloes, so hopefully that can change with this box. But I don't see any enders, so we'll have to look for good finds inside of the rolls. So let's start the hunt, and I'll bring you in when we have our first find. Roll 7 has the first find of the box, and it is a pretty beat up 1940 out of Philly. Roll number 9, and I already pulled out the first 50s find, 1953 from Denver, but I bring you in because I just uncovered a reverse with a San Francisco mint mark, which means it's going to be from 1954 or older. Hopefully it's a better date. Let's see what it is. And it is in 1953 San Francisco. Not a better date, but always great to see an S-minted older Jefferson. Roll 13, and we have a find from the early 50s, and it is 1951 from Philly. Roll 20, and we have a couple more finds. First, we have our second nickel from the 40s, 1946 from Philly, and 1959 out of Denver. Roll 22, and we have another pair of finds. First is another one from the 40s, 1948 Philly, and another 1959 Denver. Just open the next roll, roll 23, and I think we could have a war nickel right there in the middle of the roll with that darker green edge. Let's see if it is. And it is. We finally have another silver. It's been quite a few boxes. And this one's in great shape too. There's still a little bit of steps detail left. This one's definitely been saved out of circulation for a long time. And it has a Philadelphia mint mark. Let's see what year it is. 1945 out of Philly. Looks like there is some green on the front. Hopefully it's not PVC damage, but really nice 1945 Philadelphia war nickel. That is an amazing find. Roll 25, halfway point of the box, and we have another great find. And it is a 1955 out of Philly, which is a tough to find semi-key date. That's an awesome find. Roll 29, another nickel from the 40s. This time we have 1947 from Philly. Roll 34, and we have a couple more finds. First, we have this coin right here, which definitely looks old, has an older strike, but as you can see, has quite a bit of damage on the last 2 digits of the date, and I looked at it for a while and I couldn't see a date, but definitely looks older, and it is out of Philly, so who knows what it is. It looks like it's probably from the 50s, 40s, or 30s probably. But we also have 1957 from Denver that we can actually see the date. Roll 36, and we have the second nickel from 1951 of the hunt, and just like the other one, it's from Philly. Next roll, and we have another find from the 40s, and this time we have 1946 from Denver. Next roll again, and just like the last roll, we have a nickel from 1946, but this one's from Philly. Roll 40, and we have another find from the 40s, and this one is 1949 from Philly. Roll 45, and we have a pair of 50s nickels, which are 1958 and 1959, both from Denver. And also, I just want to mention, we just got the first estimate from 1968 through 1970 of the hunt. We just got it in roll 45, and in the rest of the box, there's absolutely no estimates from those years, which is very odd. I usually get about 10, 15 a box, but I hadn't gotten any until just now, so that's definitely something weird about this box. Roll 47, and I just found a 1947, which was minted in Philly. Next roll, and just like the last roll, we have a nickel from 1947 out of Philly. First nickel box has been hunted, and it was a great box. We got a good mix of older Jeffersons from the 40s and from the 50s, including a semi-key date, 1955 Philly. We did only get 2 estimates for the whole box, which is definitely really weird. Again, I usually get 10 to 15 a box, so only getting 2 is definitely weird, and both of them were in the last few rolls. But the find of the box was that really nice 1945 Philly silver war nickel. Does have some green and black gunk on the front, but other than that, it's in great shape. Definitely rare to find a war nickel that nice, and that is definitely the find of the box. I am still going to add a second box onto this video so we can get some more finds, so I'll be back when I have nickel box number 2. I am back with nickel box number 2 for this video. Again, like the first box, we don't have any enders for this box and a lot of new designs, so we'll have to look for some good finds in the rolls. So let's start the hunt on box number 2, and hopefully we can get some good finds. Roll 6, and we have our first couple of finds of box 2, which are a pair of 1957s, and they're both from Denver. Next roll, and we have a semi-key date for box 2. And it is 1955 out of Philly, which is kind of hard to find semi-key date. I think there's about 7 million minted or something, so that is a great find. Next roll again, and I just found the first 40s find of box 2, which is 1947 from Philly. We're already on roll 29, and it's been over 20 rolls since our last find. This box got really cold after a few rolls in a row with a few finds, but I bring you in because we finally have another find. This one from the 40s, 1946, out of Philly. Hopefully this box can heat up a little bit. Next roll, we have another find. This one from the 50s, has some pretty big damage on it, but it is 1957, Philadelphia. Well, we won 20 rolls with nothing, and now the next roll again. We have 3 rolls in a row with a find. Very odd, but this time we have 1951 from Philly. Roll 35, another find from the 50s, and we have 1954 from Denver. Roll 40, and we have another find. This one from the 50s, and it is a 1956 Denver with some corrosion. Roll 43, and we did have an ender. I saw it when I flipped over the roll, and it is a pretty nice 1959, and it is out of Philly, and there is a lot of detail on the steps. I know a lot of 59 Phillies were struck with full steps, so it's pretty common to see, but it's still a really nice 1959, and that is an awesome find. Roll 45, and we have another nickel from the 50s, and it is 1957, minted in Denver. Last roll of the hunt gave us one last find, which was just 1954 from Denver. Now let's go on to the wrap-up. Both boxes have been hunted, so let's go over the finds. We actually only ended up getting 3 estimates for the 2 boxes, which is way less than I normally get. Pretty sure they were sister boxes, and there are mostly Philadelphias in the boxes, and I usually get Denvers, so I think these boxes might have somehow been from the East Coast or something, and that's why we got so few estimates. Just something odd I noticed. We didn't get any foreigns in the box, so no Canadians or anything like that. We did get this 1962 that I think could be a circulated proof. Not too sure about it though. Probably not, but still, pulled it aside. It's pretty nice. And then we did get these 4 nickels right here, which I pulled aside, and they are all 2020s from Philly. And they all have varying degrees of this die chip on the left of the Monticello. Not usually something I looked for, but I did notice one early in box 1, so I decided to look on them since there are a lot of 2020 Phillies in both boxes. I found a few with a pretty decent sized one. There are quite a few smaller ones, but I didn't decide to keep those. But not really worth anything, but did just pull them aside because they're pretty interesting. And then older Jeffersons, we got a good amount for both boxes, including a couple of semi-key dates, a couple of 55 Phillies, which is awesome. We also got that really nice 1959 Philly in box 2, although it was an ender and has some gunk on the front, still really nice. And we did get one dateless one as well, not sure on the year, maybe it's a 39, who knows. But the oldest confirmed find of the hunt was just 1940, so nothing earlier than that, which is a little unfortunate. But the best find of the hunt, of course, out of box 1, we got this really nice 1945 Philly silver war nickel. Has a little bit of detail on the steps, not really any though, probably an AU to XF grade, but it does have some gunk on the front, but either way, super nice war nickel. You usually find them pretty slick, and that is a beautiful silver find. And overall, this was a fun 2-box nickel hunt.